Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the off-season going into season number 6. We start out with some, I guess, sad and happy news. Charlie Blackmon finally retires. He has been a lifelong Rocky/Denver Bear. Has hit 293 in his career, 351 on base percentage. What a great career for him. I'm happy that he gets to ride off into the sunset. We didn't get to get him that ring, but now we look towards season number 6 as we have some guys that will take over as the face of the franchise now. Now, we do have a manager opening. Our manager did retire, and we will go after Enrique Esposito, and he will actually be a guy that will help us all around. That was what I was looking for, a guy that can help us with defense and offense a little bit. We also have a first and third base opening, so we go after Ethan Huff, who will help with our defense as well. And then we go after Dustin Kennedy, another defensive guy who will help with our arm strength, fielding, and blocking, and also +2 with speed. Now, going into this season, we will go back to the retro Denver Bears jerseys. I did make a little tweak to them. I added the blue stripe under the Denver there, but the rest of it is pretty spot on. And then we decided to go back to the red maroon jerseys for the away jerseys. And I really like adding that blue to the uniform. It definitely makes it pop a little bit. And I like that red as well. So, changes going into the offseason. Will Benson, who has sat under Charlie Blackmon for years now, 5 years total, has worked with him in the offseason, and he will adopt his batting stance. So Will Benson gets a new batting stance. Hopefully that will propel him to be a much better hitter. And then DeAnthony Pierre, who comes into this season losing 20 pounds, he will come in with a new pitching motion as well. I'm looking for him to possibly make moves to make the MLB roster this year. We'll have to see how that goes. But looking at our free agents this year, our exclusive negotiations, Keston Hiura is the big one. He is the big fish at 89 overall. He will be one of the top free agents. We will not be re-signing him. I will let him walk. But one guy I do want to re-sign is Carlos Estevez. He was the one relief pitcher who truly showed up in the playoffs. He had around a 1 whip in the playoffs, and he was phenomenal. I will re-sign him at age 33, sign him to a 1 year. We'll pay him over what he wants, $850,000, and he will agree to that contract. So we head into the free agency here, and a lot of good free agents, but here's the thing. We're not looking to spend a lot of money here. We are looking to add to the pieces we have, and one of the biggest needs that we have, definitely bullpen. We saw a bullpen lapse in the playoffs, but also defense. For the probably, third straight year, we have struggled on defense, especially in the playoffs. That's where it really goes and shows itself. And I want another bat. I definitely want another bat in our lineup, and really second base, and perhaps another even outfielder, because I am not opposed to having, a 5 outfielder rotation where, people get days off, everybody's fresh. I kind of like to have that type of outfield, and really getting a second base bat that is more consistent than Keston Hiura and plays better defense. Now, a couple of relief guys I want to look at right away. Cal Quantrill, he is going to be a very good relief pitcher, but he is, more of a closer to me, because if you look at his stats, you can see that his whip went tremendously down when he was in the closer role, but I'm not looking for a closer right now. But then I go to Matt Foster. I really like Matt Foster. He was a closer and also a relief guy, but his stats have been quite consistent. And one thing that he does excel at is striking out guys. So I really, really value that. So I'm going to offer him a contract. I'm going to offer him a 3-year deal at age 31. He will get about $5.5 million a year, 19 total. Actually, that's what he's looking for, but it will pay him $6.3 million, and we will offer that contract, and it will be the #1 offer he gets over the Blue Jays. And then looking at second baseman here, who I really, really want to go after, You know, BGO is the top second baseman. I really like him, but he's demanding like what, 25 plus a year. Keston Hiura wants 15 million a year. I thought he was going to demand a little bit more, but the thing about him is that he just does not play defense. It definitely hurts us. It's very subtle though. Like, it may just be a ground ball that starts out the inning and it gets past second base for a base hit, but that run ends up scoring. So I really want somebody who can play defense there. How about Luis Arias, the guy who won the World Series MVP for the Chicago Cubs? He has really never got a chance to be a starter. And looking at his quirks, look at these quirks. He has a defensive quirk in sniper. He's 20/20 vision, which means he rarely misses balls, and he's a hitting machine. But look at his at-bats. He's just never got the chance to start. And I think I want to give him that chance. He's a 370 on base percentage guy. Amazing. 295 career average at age 28. I think I can offer him a 1-year deal just to prove it, because he has not been in that starter role. So I will offer him that contract. So we get into the signings here. Dustin May leaves the Dodgers and goes to the Red Sox. Wow, a big pitcher leaving the division. And Matt Foster agrees to his deal. There's no surprise there. We were the top offer, and he will accept that. And Luis Arias does accept that 1-year deal. He was looking for more years. He was looking for like 5-year deal, but I give him a 1-year prove-it deal. It happens in the MLB, in every sport, to be honest with you. Mostly football. I think that happens in football the most. David Peterson goes to the Diamondbacks. That's a $31 million deal for David Peterson. I cannot believe they gave him that contract. Maybe they were thinking that they need pitching. I guess they do. The Diamondbacks have been a very good hitting team in this franchise, not very good pitching. Quintrell does return to the Blue Jays on a 4-year, $37 million deal. A lot of deals going around here in the first couple of days of free agency. J.P. Crawford ends up getting traded to the Orioles. And the Orioles have been terrible in this franchise. They have been literally last in the AL West every single season. AL East, I should say, every single season. Jesus Luzardo goes to the Yankees, 6-year, $186, $31 million a year. Joe Musgrove, who was once a Padre, he goes to the Astros on a $16.5 million a year on a 3-year deal. BGO returns to the Blue Jays on a 5-year, $100 million deal. So he demanded 20 in the open market. How about Austin Gomber, though, going to the Chicago Cubs? I did not see this happening because I did not think he was worth $15 million a year. Brady Singer goes to the Nationals, so the Nationals get stronger. Remember, they have that really good offense. Dansby Swanson goes to the Rays. He will get $17 million a year for the next 4 years. Bogarts goes to the Angels, so he goes out west now from the east to the west on $22 million a year. Brian Anderson goes to the Braves, a very cheap deal for Brian Anderson. Goodness, $9 million a year. And then Vlad Guerrero, who was a sneaky big free agent in this class, 5 years, $106, only $21 million a year. If we didn't have Suarez at third base, I probably would have went after him, but very good signing by the Orioles. They get J.P. Crawford and Vladimir Guerrero. So now we go into the Rule 5 draft, and I have pick number 25. And you know what I go after every single Rule 5 draft? It's relief pitcher. So I'm looking at some of these guys here and seeing who I can bring in. One thing I like about the Rule 5 draft is a lot of these contracts are very, very cheap, and you can get a very good relief pitcher. We've picked up a couple in this draft. Nick Goody has been the best. He is now at 80 overall, and he is still pitching very, very well. But the two guys I'm looking at here, Rocky Strickland, he is a very good strikeout pitcher, but so is Casey Bowling. He has 92 strikeouts per 9. He went up +8 in that category last season. So I will go after him. He is 33 years old. It's only a 1-year deal, so he will have to remain on the MLB roster this year. But one thing I did not add there in the first round of free agency was a outfielder. And one thing I wanted to add, it was just a guy that can rotate in and be great on defense. Now, Kyle Lewis is a free agent, but I would really go after him. But the thing is, he's not excellent defensively. I'm looking for a good defensive outfielder who can play probably center field and help us out there, because it seems like that's the position that we're struggling at the most. And then I plan on platooning Winker in left this year and getting a better defensive option out there. Rio Ruiz was one guy I was looking at here, maybe for a future third baseman, but I decided not to do it. But I look at a guy like Bryan Reynolds, who has the quirks you want. He has quick reflexes. His arm is pretty good. His fielding is good. His reaction is good. But look at his hitting zones. I think that's what definitely intrigues me the most. He can hit versus both-handedness, and, he's very, very good. He has 67 speed, which isn't like great, but still, he can, with that reaction, he can get to a lot of balls. So we decide to go after Bryan Reynolds. We will offer him a 2-year deal, and he will pretty much play every day, whether that's in right field platooning with Will Benson, whether that's in center field. I think he's going to play center field more often than not, or in left field platooning with Jesse Winker. I decide to offer him that contract. He is going to accept it as well. 2 years, $26 million. Believe it or not, he is one of our highest paid fielders on the squad right now. We have a lot of money divvied to our pitching, and that's the reason why we're ranked top 5 in pitching. Sometimes I see it fluctuate. We're sometimes ranked number 3, sometimes we're ranked number 1 even. And now we agreed to a contract with him, and look at our outfield. We have Winker in left. We have Kenny Martinez, who was our first-round draft pick 3 seasons ago now. He is going to be ready for the show probably sometime this year, but I might hold him down. And here are the rankings for all of our positions. You can just see pitching, we're 4, relief, 2nd. I mean, the bullpen is amazing this year. Mohamed Willingham brings our first base up to 8th, and Will Benson in right field actually has us ranked very, very high. So we have a good all-around team right now, and you can just see Bryan Reynolds comes in with $13 million a year as our 3rd highest guy on the squad right now. Jesse Winker's going into a contract year. We gave him a $12 million contract when he was a free agent 2 seasons ago, and then Eugenio Suarez is making $9 million, but that's it. Like, we have a very, very cheap squad and a very good squad, which is something I'm very proud of. We didn't spend a lot of money to get to the point that we're at, and that is a very good sign going forward, because we know that we can probably groom a lot of position players, especially through drafting. We have a couple of guys that are coming up and a couple of guys that are due this year to really break out. So I'm thinking our lineup's going to look something like this. This is subject to change. Ozuna and both Winker will have first base as their secondary position now. It'll be outfield and first base. So one of those two could be playing first base when Willingham needs days off. But I'm thinking something like this will come to fruition, where we have Ozuna leading off. He's still a very good leadoff hitter. Bryan Reynolds maybe will hit 2, maybe 5 or 6. We'll have to see. Luis Arias could move up in the lineup as well. Will Benson right now is penciled in at 5. I'm hoping that he does break out this year with his bat. That would be amazing. And versus left, I plan on starting Benito both-handedness because he is pretty good at hitting the ball versus lefties and righties, so I don't plan on taking him out, but I do need to kind of hide him defensively because he is fast. But in center field, he is a liability. He just does not have a good arm. Bryan Reynolds will play in center field full-time. Mohamed Willingham will hit 3 in the lineup versus left-handers, and then this will kind of give Jesse Winker a day off, and because we don't have a ton of left-handed pitchers in our division, so I don't think that Winker's going to miss a lot of games here. It's going to get him some rest. Zach Veen will rotate in right field along with Will Benson, and this is that 5-man outfield I was talking about, giving Zach Veen, Benito Ozuna, Bryan Reynolds, Winker, and also I forgot who else. I'm blanking out here on his name, but we have that 5-man rotation in the outfield. And here's what our starting rotation is going to look like. Mike Soroka is going to be our ace. I mean, there's no doubt about it that Severino just absolutely choked in the playoffs. I got to move him down. Coffer seems like he is a number 2 for sure. I like him as a lefty there at the top of our rotation as well. And then there's Maxwell and Salucci at number 5. Now, Salucci showed up in the playoffs. I want to give him that chance to really show what he's got over Atlas Luncic. I think he's a very good pitcher here in his rookie season at age 30, the 30-year-old rookie. Can you believe it? That's going to be amazing. So that's going to do it here for the offseason. We didn't do a lot of things, but I think we got stronger. We signed a good outfielder. We signed a good second baseman who plays defense. And then we also kind of got better with pitching because remember, we drafted a Rule 5 draft relief pitcher. We signed a relief pitcher. And then we also brought up Salucci, who's going to help our rotation out even more. I can't wait for this season. I think we are primed to go back to the playoffs, and I think we're the best team in the division right now. So we'll see if we can repeat our success of last year. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Next episode will be spring training. I want to just run through that really quick and get a good look at some guys. So stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I like getting money, I got time to get it. Target on me, so my car's a tenant. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in the dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side. But I'm from the east side, this how we slide. This how we ride, yeah, this how we ride.